All right, well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the June Wellness Webinar. My name is Stacy Noonan, and I'm a Senior Health Education Specialist here at HealthNet. And my co-host, Kristen Kayla, will be on the line to assist me with the webinar today. I have a few housekeeping items to review before we begin. First of all, as Kristen mentioned, participants are muted upon entering the webinar to avoid any background noise. And if you wish to change your audio settings, click on the Join Audio button and 3 options should appear. And you can select your preferred audio option. And if you're having technical difficulties, feel free to chat directly to Kristen. Open the chat box, hover over the Zoom toolbar at the top of the screen. You will see a chat box icon there. Click on that icon and it should appear. Kristen will receive your message in real time and she'll respond to your message in the order that she receives them. So if there is any delay in her response, she'll get to your message as soon as she can. If you're attending this webinar in a conference room or used a single webinar access with your team, please chat the number of attendees to Kristen so that we can get a more accurate number on attendance today. All right, so today's topic is Return to the Outdoors, the Healing Power of Nature. And just real quickly, our disclaimer, the information provided in this presentation is intended solely for the general information of the audience. It is not medical advice and shall not replace consultation with your physician or other qualified health provider. If you have any health-related questions or problems, please seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider. Through today's webinar, we will go over the following areas: the effect of urbanization and health, the link between nature and joy, and using the power of nature to provide or to improve brain function and to reduce fatigue, and also discovering ways to reconnect with nature. This will be an interactive webinar as we will be doing some live polls, which are new to the webinars, and you'll be able to see the audience's responses and also a guided imagery activity today. So let's get started. To begin, let's think about what urbanization is and how it can affect our health. Our location of where we live can impact our access to nature and how much time we spend outdoors. So what is urbanization? Urbanization is the process through which cities grow and higher percentages of the population comes to live in the city. Over the last 50 years, there has been more development of cities and an increase in population living in cities. Which now brings us to our first poll. And the question is, or the poll is, what is the percentage of the world's population that live in urban areas? Is it 20%, 30%, 40%, or over 50%? All right, so I'll give you guys like 10, 15 seconds to vote, and we'll be able to see what people think.
It looks like a lot of votes are coming in, Stacy. That's
yeah.
Great.
All right, once they settle down, I'll end it.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, I'm gonna end the poll, or looks like some are still coming in. Don't forget, it's in the, add it to the poll, not the chat. All right, so most of you chose over 50%, 47% chose 50%. Oh, let me show the results here. And can you see the results?
Yes, I can. This is
Okay,
Kristen.
okay. All right, perfect. And then 33% chose 40, 17% chose 30, and 3% chose 20. So the correct answer is over 50. It's actually 55%. All right, so we'll this. So urbanization is one of the leading global trends of the 21st century that has a significant impact on health. Now, as I mentioned, it's over 55% of the world's population live in urban areas, a proportion that is expected to increase to 68% by 2050. With this transition in urbanization, anxiety and depression is 20% higher and more prevalent among city dwellers. Mental fatigue and mood disorders have also increased by 40%. The CDC reports from 1999 to 2015, suicide rates in the United States have risen nearly 30% among both sexes, all racial and ethnic groups, and all urbanization levels, as you can see here in the charts. So why has the increase in urbanization have given a negative impact on mental health and health in general? Let's face it, when we are in a city, we end up spending less time outdoors and more time indoors. Between commuting, working, school in an urban environment, we are spending very little time outdoors. With COVID-19, our children are required to be on a computer for distance learning, which increases their screen time. Some of us are back in the office, but some of us are still at home on Zoom meetings, which again decreases that time out that we are able to spend outside. There's a direct link between spending most of our days inside instead of outdoors, again due to urbanization and an increase in mental conditions. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, the average American spends 93% of their life indoors. 80% of that time is spent inside, while the other 6% is spent in automobiles. This means that only 7% of the average American's life is spent outdoors. This is unfortunate considering that spending time outdoors is one of the easiest ways to improve your overall health and well-being. Although urbanization can keep us indoors more often, when we make a point to spend more time outside and in nature, our physical, mental, and emotional well-being can improve. It is also clear that in the past 30 years, people's levels of stress and sense of busyness have risen dramatically. These forces have led environmental writer Richard Louv, which is pictured here with the books he has written, to coin the term nature deficit disorder. Nature deficit disorder is not a medical diagnosis, but a useful term, a metaphor, to describe what many of us are experiencing as the result of alienation from nature, which is largely due to urbanization and change in our lifestyles. The result from this is diminished use of the senses, attention difficulties, higher rates of physical and emotional illness, a rising rate of myopia, child and adult obesity, vitamin D deficiency, and other health conditions. It's time to realize that nature is more than just a material resource. It's a pathway to health, human health, and happiness. Now to move on to the link between nature and joy. We know that the shift of us being inside more instead of outside in nature has its negative effects. But what is the link between nature and joy? There is some evidence that exposure to nature impacts the brain. Viewing natural beauty in the form of landscape paintings and video at least activates specific reward circuits in the brain associated with dopamine releases that give us a sense of purpose, joy, and energy to pursue our goals. All right, so we have another poll question. And what is your ideal nature setting that makes you feel the most joy? And you can choose multiple choices here. beach or the ocean, mountains, forest, or the desert. All right, I'll give 10, 15 more seconds to get the votes in. All right, so I'm gonna, oh, more's coming in. All right, so I'm gonna end the poll right here. All right, so it looks like 81% of you guys enjoy the beach and ocean, which is personally my favorite as well. Good amount for half of us are for mountains and forest, and only 6% for desert. It's really interesting. I love these pictures too. It gives a good picture of these environments. All right. So here are some areas where nature has its positive impacts on our brains, our bodies, feelings, thought processes, social interactions, and calming our nervous system. So why nature? No one knows for sure, but one hypothesis derived from evolutionary biologist E.O. Wilson's biophilia theory suggests that there are evolutionary reasons people seek out nature experiences. We may have preferences to be in beautiful natural spaces because they are resource-rich environments, ones that provide optimal food, shelter, and comfort. These evolutionary needs may explain why children are drawn to natural environments. Now, a large body of research is documenting that the positive impacts of nature on our human flourishing, our social, psychological, and emotional life. Over 100 studies have shown that being in nature, living near nature, or even viewing nature in paintings and videos can have its positive impacts on our brains, bodies, feelings, thought processes, and social interactions. Specifically, viewing nature can be rewarding, producing a flow of positive emotions and calming our nervous systems. These in turn help us to develop greater openness, creativity, connection, generosity, and resilience. In other words, science suggests that we may seek out nature not only for our physical survival, but also because it's good for our social and personal well-being. There are a number of growing campaigns putting forward evidence that nature has a connection with our happiness. For children specifically, being outdoors and having nature experiences can have a significant benefit. The outdoor environment provides different play opportunities.
Oh, Stacy, can you close your poll window, please? I think it might be open for some people.
Sorry, am I back?
It's okay for me. If a participant can please just send me a little IM to make sure that it looks good on your side. Okay, it looks good.
Okay,
so we can
sorry.
continue. Thank you so much.
Not sure what happened there.
Oh, that's okay. It might be a user error as well. So thank you.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, so now where was I? Okay, well, I was discussing about children specifically. The outdoor environment provides different play opportunities that can't be replicated from playing inside. For instance, the outdoor offers an open and constantly changing environment where a child can freely experience boisterous movements and make contact with natural elements. Additionally, children exposed to the natural world showed increases in self-esteem, taught them how to take risks, unleashed their creativity, and gave them a chance to exercise, play, and discover. Let's not forget that playing outside is fun for most kids. In some cases, nature can significantly improve the symptoms of attention deficit hyperactive disorder, or ADHD, providing a calming influence and helping them concentrate. Among adults, feeling part of nature has been shown to significantly correlate with life satisfaction, vitality, meaningfulness, happiness, mindfulness, and lower cognitive anxiety. Access to outdoor spaces can provide important health-related benefits for older adults as well, especially in long-term care settings. Visits to the park have had a statistically significant positive impact on the moods of persons living with dementia. And of course, getting outdoors is an effective means of increasing vitamin D intake, something that seniors often lack, which can lead to fall injuries. All right, so now this brings us to our guided imagery in nature activity. First allow yourself to get comfortable in your chair. Once you are comfortable and relaxed, close your eyes and take a deep breath through your nose and slowly out through your mouth. Breathe in again through your nostrils, allowing your body to sink deeper into your chair as you release the air slowly out of your lungs through your mouth. Take another deep breath through your nose. This time, clearing your thoughts and letting go of judgment as you exhale. Now let's begin by visualizing yourself on a clear and tranquil beach. You feel the warm sun on your skin. You hear the waves gently splashing on the sand. You allow yourself to be one with nature. You reach down and take off your shoes and socks. You notice the warm and energizing sensation from the sun-warmed sand beneath your feet. As you walk along the sand, you hear faint sounds of seagulls. You smell the salty ocean air, while the calm breeze combs through your hair. You begin walking towards the water where the water meets the sand. The damp sand feels soft and cool under your feet. As you gaze at the horizon, you take in the beautiful sunset with colors of pink, purple, and orange through pillowy clouds as it fades into the clear blue sky. You slowly dig your toes into the sand, allowing your feet to be completely wrapped in the sand like a blanket. You feel the elements and life force from nature, restoring your energy and sense of calm. The tide begins to shift and the waves underneath your feet from the sand. Focus on the gentle ebb and flow of the waves. Allow your breath to follow its pace. Take a deep breath through your nose. Feel your chest rise and your abdomen expand as you draw air in and exhale gently through your lips. Breathe in again and let your lungs fill with the clean, fresh air of the beach. And as you exhale, imagine yourself releasing anxiety and negative thoughts through your breath. Gently bring awareness back to your body and the room. You can give your fingers and toes a wiggle when you feel ready. Gently open your eyes, coming back into waking consciousness. I hope this activity allows you to get an idea of some of the simple ways to bring nature into your consciousness and get the benefit of improved cognitive performance. There are many guided imagery scripts online, or you may choose to write your own. All right, so now we are going to explore using the power of nature to improve brain function and reduce fatigue. There are also other health benefits that nature provides, and we'll go into that as well. In today's world, we live with technology designed to constantly pull at our attention. But many scientists believe our brains were not made for this kind of information bombardment, and that it can lead to mental fatigue, overwhelm, and burnout, requiring attention restoration to get back to a normal healthy state. Some researchers believe that Being in nature restores those depleted attention circuits, which can then help us to be open to creativity and problem solving. A study done in 2012 showed that hikers on a 4-day backpacking trip could solve significantly more puzzles requiring creativity when compared to a control group of people waiting to take that same hike. In fact, 47% more. Although other factors may account for this result, for example, the exercise or camaraderie of being out together, prior studies have suggested that nature itself may have played an important role. Michael Posner, an American psychologist and a professor emeritus at the University of Oregon, says that our brains get fatigued after working long periods of time, particularly if we have to concentrate intensely or deal with a repetitive task. Though it's manageable at first, over time, your ability to maintain your focus becomes compromised, leaving you with an inability to concentrate, performing more mistakes than normal, and more stressed. This can lead to potentially serious health issues such as depression, heart disease, chronic illness, and autoimmune disorders. Nature experiences can lead to reduced stress, easier recovery from illness, better physical well-being in elderly people, and behavior changes that can improve mood and general well-being. Mental exhaustion isn't necessarily the result of things gone wrong, though it can be, but more likely an accumulation of too many decisions, too much work and not enough time, too many demands, too many interruptions that cause shifts in attention. This kind of mental fatigue knocks us back when we've reached our threshold to comfortably handle stress, even the positive kind of stress. The more mentally tired we become, the less capable we are of keeping up with the demands of the day. It becomes harder to make healthy decisions, stay focused on tasks, and regulate our emotions. Over time, mental exhaustion can lead to full-blown burnout, physical issues, and stress-related illnesses. Some signs of mental exhaustion can vary. One can be physical fatigue. Your body feels tired and you'd rather curl up on a lawn chair with an iced tea rather than head out for that run at the end of the day, even though you spent most of the day sitting at a desk. It can be impatience and irritability. You become snappy with others and more quickly triggered to anger or be upset. It can be inability to concentrate or focus. It becomes harder to finish your work or tasks. You may find it difficult to make decisions, find the right word, or focus on one job at a time. Since our brains are easily fatigued, when we slow down, when we stop the busy work and take in beautiful natural surroundings, not only do we feel restored, but our mental performance improves too. So it's really important to take those micro breaks. So be sure to take a break every now and then and look out the window to gaze at a green space. Or head out for a brief stroll at the park or garden during your lunch. And try to avoid looking at your phone or a screen. Treat your breaks as an opportunity to briefly unplug. In the last 10 years, the study on the relationship of nature and our health has reemerged. With advancing neurosciences and psychology, scientists are looking with renewed interest at how nature affects our brains and bodies. They begin to measure what earlier studies couldn't answer. Researchers from England analyzed mental health data from 10,000 city dwellers. Their findings were that people living near more green space reported less mental distress, even after adjusting for income, education, and employment, which all are correlated with health. In 2009, a team of Dutch researchers found that nature also improved physical health. People who lived within about a half mile of green space had lower incidence of distress, including depression, anxiety, heart disease, diabetes, asthma, and migraines. And in 2015, an international team analyzed health questionnaire responses from more than 31,000 Toronto residents and found that those living on blocks with more trees showed a boost in heart and metabolic health equivalent to what one would experience from a $20,000 gain in income. Lower mortality and fewer stress hormones circulated in the blood have also been connected with living close to green space. Across all methodologies, the subjects consistently felt more energetic when they spent time in a natural setting or imagined themselves in situations in nature. When the subjects took a 10-minute break, took a break for 10 minutes in a quiet room to imagine or look at pictures of a nature scene or a city street, they found that cognizance performance improved after the nature break, even though it was only on paper or imaginative. Being outside in nature for just 20 minutes a day was enough to significantly boost vitality levels. After 3 days of wilderness backpacking, individuals performed 50% better on creative problem-solving tasks. Subjects reported feeling their senses recalibrate. They could smell things and hear things they didn't before, and an increase in relaxation brought the subjects more in tune with nature. Researchers believe if you can have the experience of being in the moment with nature for 2 or 3 days, it seems to produce a difference in qualitative thinking. The 3-day difference is a kind of cleaning of the mental windshield that occurs when we've been immersed in nature long enough. And thanks to research, the mystery has been solved. We now know that the connections between nature can be the best medicine for people of all ages, improving our mental health, happiness, and well-being. So lastly, we'll discover ways to connect with nature. We now know that there are plenty of benefits in being in nature and outside, even if it's just looking at pictures or videos of nature. But how do we get started? Let's go over some tips to begin. First, we can watch. Whether you're watching from a window, you're on a porch, or you're on your favorite path, spend your time taking in what is around you. Watch the clouds roll by, the snow gently melt, the birds flit from branch to branch, the water flow as it flows downstream, or stars as they scroll across the night sky. Taking just a moment to watch our world can remind us to be present in the moment and appreciate the delicate nature of the world around us. Rest. In a world of go, 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 the pandemic has forced us to stop and slow down. Everywhere we turn, we are being told to look, listen, and take in more news, more articles, and more advice. These can be stressful times with so many things on our minds, which also means that it can be a perfect time to rest. Studies show that connecting with our natural world improves short-term memory, helps us to de-stress, reduce inflammation, and even fight depression and anxiety. Taking a moment to rest won't help you recover from yesterday, won't just help you recover from yesterday and get through today, but rest now will help us to make better decisions and find more creative and thoughtful solutions for the future. And now listen. Taking a moment to focus in on one of our senses can help center yourself. In listening, we find some peace and quiet. Though I'll warn you, once you find a quiet place outside, you may begin to hear more than you've imagined. The birds are singing, the bees are buzzing, the snow is melting, and if you give yourself long enough to sit in outdoors, You may even hear the gentle wind. Number 4 is play. Can you take a moment to play? Whether you're throwing the ball with your dog, dancing, creating a snow person, breaking out the old hula hoop, or simply relaxing outside, this can bring some lightness. Number 5, read. Connecting with the world around us can happen through a book. Books provide an awesome way to visit another place and learn all about its natural history. Number 6, walk. Getting outdoors doesn't always mean summiting mountains, climbing rocks, or doing the extreme. For many of us, getting outdoors is as simple as taking a stroll outside. Going on an urban hike or strolling the sidewalks of your neighborhood can help you notice things that you may have never noticed before. Watching birds, critters, or even bustling people from a sidewalk can be just as exciting as the activity you might encounter while walking a forest path. Number 7, plant or garden. Whether you're planting seeds, tending to healthy plants, or pulling invasive weeds, gardening is a great way to connect with the land and be in nature. Number 8, write. Bringing a pen and notepad into nature is a great way to train yourself to notice things more closely. It's also a great opportunity to reflect on your day. Whether drawing, writing, or taking quick notes, you'll have something to look back upon and remember how much these places you write about, and the moments you've recorded have changed. Number 9, create. No art experience necessary. Creating art is a great way to connect with nature and yourself in a new way while taking in the beauty that surrounds us. Whether you're making a painting, taking a photo, or doing a simple drawing, capturing the beauty of our land helps us fall more in love with this place, even if no one gets to see your creation. And 10, breathe. Whether it's for a minute or an hour, breathing in our clean air is good for our body, mind, and heart. Simply step outside and take it all in. Now, something as simple as walking outdoors can be beneficial to not only our physical health, but our mood and our mental health. Outdoors has so much to offer for the entire family too. It can be sports, swimming, biking, picnics, and day hikes. If you're an outdoor enthusiast, there's kayaking, paddleboarding, surfing, and off-roading, or even something more easygoing like fishing. Gardening is a great way to immerse yourself in nature without having to travel away from home, needing lots of equipment if you don't mind the extra work, and is suitable for many fitness levels. Most gardening falls under the activity of moderate activity, so you can get the same benefits of moderate exercise like cardiovascular health and weight management when done 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. If you don't have a green thumb, start with a plant that has high sensory appeal, something you can see, touch, smell, or even taste. Something like an herb starter kit from the grocery store is great for beginning gardeners. Watch it respond to your nurturing, then use it in cooking. There's a lot of ways to appreciate it. Now, camping. We have an internal mechanism to control our sleep cycles called the circadian rhythm. It determines when we go to sleep and when we wake up. Camping can help you reset your natural sleeping rhythm by allowing you to synchronize your internal clock with the light-dark cycle. This means that if you avoid artificial light, including the glow of electronics, while camping, your body will reset to go to sleep shortly after the sun goes down and wake up at sunrise. With the presence of greenery all around, you're surrounded by a natural air purifying system. Increased oxygen intake increases serotonin levels, the chemical that our bodies produces that affects our brains and makes us feel happy. Other studies have shown that the invisible chemicals called phytonicides in some trees can reduce the stress hormones, lower anxiety, and improve blood pressure and immunity. As hard as we all try to eat healthy, the good thing about camping is that it forces you to remove fast food temptations and sugary Starbucks drinks from your meal options. Aside from s'mores, camping can lead to some healthy food intake like granola, oatmeal, fish, natural fruits, and berries. And during the day, you're more likely to be active from gathering wood for campfire, setting up a tent, hiking, fishing, and exploring all the great ways camping can get your feet moving and moving around. In Japan, they use the term forest bathing to combat stress, anxiety, fatigue, and anger by taking 3-day trips to the forest. Decorating your living spaces with color cues from nature, like blues, greens, browns, and with splashes of bright colors from flowers. Imagine nature's colors on your walls, upholstery, and decorative accessories. You can hang nature prints or display a collection of seashells for a touch of whimsy. Even decorate your desk with nature elements. Changing your desk wallpaper and screensaver, or even adding a desk plant can be beneficial. Backpacking. Backpacking is a great way to experience nature on foot. There's nothing like carrying everything you need to be self-sufficient on your back while absorbing picturesque views and immersing yourself in a completely foreign place. While some skills are needed in order to keep yourself safe, you don't have to tackle the Appalachian Trail on your first outing. But that's the thing about backpacking is that it can be as strenuous or as leisurely as you'd like, and as you make it. Backpacking is a full body activity. Backpacking allows you to reach locations that not many travelers have access to, and you'll get to experience the unique flora and fauna of the area. And relatively speaking, a backpacking trip is an inexpensive vacation alternative. With no premium flights premiums for flights or hotel rooms, you can easily stay within your budget and have a unique experience each time. Backpacking permits are cheap, and you can rent backpacking gear for the price of a resort vacation, and you can squeeze in several backpacking trips. Which brings us to the Wild Side Challenge. Before the challenge, participants were asked to take part in a survey. Let me describe this first. The UK created this 30-day nature challenge, which involved people doing something in nature every day for 30 consecutive days. An evaluation of this challenge shows scientifically and statistically how significant the challenge was. So before the challenge, participants were asked to take part in the survey about their perceived connection with nature and feeling a part of it, how they interacted with nature, and how they feel about their health and happiness. The participants also repeated the survey after the challenge and again 2 months after the study had finished. Intuitively, researchers knew that nature was good for humans, but the results were beyond what they expected. The study showed that there was a scientifically significant increase in people's health, happiness, connection to nature, and active nature behaviors, such as feeding the birds and planting flowers for bees throughout the challenge, which has already been confirmed through studies that happened in the past 10 years. But the kicker was that these people sustained their behaviors with nature for months after the challenge had been completed. Impressively, the number of people reporting their health as excellent increased by 30%. The study was a large-scale intervention with more than 18,500 people committing to 300,000 random acts of wilderness, framed not as a public health intervention, but rather a fun campaign to take part in. And here are these pictures. We have our very own Laura Maloof Miller is sharing a picture of herself enjoying a beautiful landscape of the mountains and river. And our host today, Kristen Kayla, is enjoying a picturesque gardenscape here at our campus. So I hope you enjoyed today's webinar and hopefully are inspired to experience nature and receive all the healing powers and amazing benefits. And And now on to some of our wellness resources. So here we have our My Strength resource. Our My Strength program is a self-help health club for your mind. Health Club members can browse through the topics that best fit your mood. My Strength has many topics to choose from. This program's content is tailored to your personal profile. My Strength is available to HealthNet members as well as non-HealthNet members via web and mobile app. Go to www.mystrength.com/HNWELL to register, then download the app to access My Strength through your smartphone. Telephonic support provides help at your fingertips. Tackling new health goals can be challenging, but you don't have to face it alone. A health coach can help you prioritize your goals, strategize a plan, and support you through your journey and help you tackle those bumps on the road. If you have a health concern, HealthNet members can call the nurse advice line to speak to a registered nurse anytime, day or night. Your Decision Power Health and Wellness. Some members can find wellness programs and other resources when you log in to your HealthNet account. And there are such programs on weight management, nutrition, exercise, smoking cessation, and more. Which now brings us to our healthy discounts. And who doesn't like discounts? HealthNet members can receive discounts on Weight Watchers, chiropractic and acupuncture services, eye care, hearing aids, and even fitness health club discounts. If you're not a HealthNet member, please check with your health plan to see if similar programs, services, and discounts. And our next month's webinar is on Wednesday, July 21st at 12 to 12:45 Pacific Standard Time. And we will be going over acupuncture from restlessness to peace of mind. And we will discuss learning how to use safe use of acupuncture, explore common self-acupuncture points to help relieve headache, stress, and muscle tension, and also learn other ways acupuncture is used in mind and body care. We hope you will join us next month. And thank you everybody for your time today. You may exit the webinar.